Hey y'all, it's your girl Miss G, and you know what time it is. It's G time. It's time to get up, get active, and get it together. Happy Black History Month once again. It's Friday, y'all. We made it to Friday. Another week down. I don't know about y'all, but it was a hard week. It was hard to make it through another week, but we made it through another week. I don't know what you're going through, how life has been for you in this 2024. We are in the second month of 2024, and I'm already like, give it back. It could go. I'm done. January it came in hot, okay, and not a good hot. I'm like, oh my gosh, January, the beginning of the year has been devastating for us, and you know, it's really been a time of reflection and rebuilding, refocusing. I've spent some time just quiet and in my mind, processing my emotions, trying to get some peace within myself, and doing what we do in. So everyone knows I'm a mental health therapist, and there's a part of therapy where I teach emotional identification, and that's where we identify what we're feeling. We do this by understanding emotions. And so I've been doing a lot of emotional identification, being able to say that I feel sad, I feel hurt, I feel um, disappointed. That's the emotion that I've kind of been stuck on throughout the week. I've been feeling a lot of disappointment, whether it's in myself and others. And I know that disappointment comes from probably a higher expectation, whether in myself or in others. And I've been asking myself, like, okay, so why are you disappointed? And so I sometimes refer back to Emotionally Healthy Relationships by Peter Seguro. He talks about valid and invalid expectations. And to make expectations valid, they have to be realistic, they have to be agreed upon, they have to be spoken of. Two people have to have an understanding in order for the expectation to be valid. If they don't have a spoken agreement and it's not realistic and it's not understood, then it's not a valid expectation. That person doesn't even know that you're expecting them to do these things. You're expecting it, and that's why you're disappointed, because they have no idea. And so, I've been asking myself these things too, like, do you have invalid expectations of people? And sometimes it's like, yes, yep. Sometimes I do have invalid expectations. Do you have invalid expectations of yourself? Yep. Sometimes I have invalid expectations of myself. What happens when the invalid, or what happens when the expectation isn't invalid? What happens when the expectation is valid? What happens when we are in a relationship and we've agreed to be there for one another, when we've agreed to be one another's support system, when we agreed to, I'm trying to find a good example. Um, so let's just say, for example, we agreed, let's use a relationship, and let's use household chores, for example, washing dishes. We've agreed that we're going to wash dishes every other day. Like, I'm going to wash one day, you're going to wash the other day. And we're going to do this, throughout the week. And so I wash on Monday, and now it's Tuesday, and I have an expectation that you're going to wash today, because we've agreed every other day you're going to wash. Well, it's Tuesday and the dishes haven't been washed, and I'm kind of looking around like, okay, you said you was going to wash dishes today. This is what we agreed upon. When If I become disappointed that you aren't following through with our agreement, it wasn't an invalid expectation. It's something we agreed upon. So how do we address things that are invalid? I mean, how do we address things that are valid? You know, it's by saying things like, I'm wondering if the agreement that we set is still going forth, because today is Tuesday and I washed dishes on Monday and the dishes haven't been washed. That's me using an I statement without using an accusatory you, because I could just say, why you ain't wash the dishes today? But I already know how that's going to go, right? So I'm trying to be able to use I statements so that another person can hear what I'm saying and I express myself in a healthy way without us having a whole blow up, right? That's my example. That's not what I'm going through, but that was my example on valid and invalid expectations. So if we agree upon something and you don't follow through with it, then it's not invalid. So I've been, kind of processing some things this week. Like, well, I don't have all invalid expectations. Some expectations are valid. So what do you do in relationships, whether it's friendships or romantic relationships, professional relationships, um, where you have agreed to something with someone and then they don't live up to their end of the bargain? That those are some things that are like, ugh, it's frustrating. And when you're going through difficult moments in life, it makes you, you have these negative emotions surrounded by it. It could be disappointment, it could be feelings of bitterness or resentment. And so we have to be able to process those emotions and then express those emotions, whether to that person or to ourselves, and understand that, you know what, this agreement is no longer valid because the other person isn't living up to what they said they were going to do. So I've been going through those things and teaching those things, and saying, oh, life, emotions, thought processes, um, being able to just sit sometimes in our sadness, processing grief, processing forgiveness. These are all things that are not easy things to do, but they are things that are rewarding if we give it a chance. Forgiveness isn't an easy task, but it is rewarding. Grief is an individual process. And I don't care what anybody else tells you, you grieve the way you need to grieve. And if you need to find someone to help you through your grieving process, there are people available. But grief is individual, and no one person grieves the same. The way you grieve is for you. How long you grieve is for you. There are steps in the grieving process that, a professional will guide you through and explain to you to give you some understanding of those stages. But how long you're in those stages and how many times you go through those stages are individual. No one can tell you right or wrong. The support that you need while you're grieving, it's individual. What you need may be different from what I need. So it's okay to say, this is what I need. And we use I statements once again. You may say, I need someone to sit with me. I need someone to listen to me. I need someone to go with me here and there. I need for someone to help me with this task. Whatever it is you need. If people are asking you, how can I help you? Use your I statements and allow them to help you in the way that you need. And if they agree to it's valid. But if they don't live up to what it is they're saying, it's okay to process those emotions of frustration and anger and disappointment and, everything else that's associated with feeling let down. And then, after you process those things, use some healthy coping skills, whether it's journaling, praying, exercising, calling a supportive friend, talking to a professional, watching something good on TV, eating something good. Don't forget to eat. 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 Okay, not eat that much. Okay, don't eat. Don't eat. But, don't overeat. Eat you something good. Put something good into your body. Drink you some cold, refreshing water. Go on a walk. Do some 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise. Go outside and tell me 5 things that you see and 4 things that you hear. 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Meaning, maybe you have some gum or some candy or something that you're drinking. Go outside and be in this mindfulness, in the present. It's okay to have these healthy coping skills at hand to be able to get through what you're going through. It's Friday, y'all. We made it through. You have a blessed day. Freedom Friday. Free yourself from whatever it is that's holding you down. You have the power to create change. Be blessed.